Hey, what's good, guys? Thanks for joining me. It's your friend Malachi here. I pray and hope that you're doing well, doing all right in these times. So today, Prophecies from the Park edition, we are going to cover the Lakota Sioux Tribe Chief Crazyhorse prophecy, the 7th generation prophecy, and also the Rainbow Warriors, which is a native prophecy from many traditions, many different native cultures are in one mind, one accord with that prophecy. I'll cover that one in the next video. So the 7th generation prophecy is from Crazyhorse. This was back in the 1800s, and this was days before he died. He was sitting with Sitting Bull, his friend that was a leader, and this is right before General Custer actually killed him, I think a few days before. But the Lakota tribe was one of the only tribes that actually gave the army a really tough time. I think they even overcame them a few times. So Crazyhorse was one of the OG Dundadas of the native tribes, and the Lakota tribe is one of the biggest tribes on Turtle Island, which is North America. So in this prophecy back in 1800s, Crazyhorse was sitting with Sitting Bull before he died. He said that he sees a time of 7 generations where all tribes of the earth, well, actually, first let me say, he sees a time in 7 generations where there's great turmoil on the earth first, and then where all tribes of the earth gather around the tree of life, the sacred tree of life, in unity, peace, and harmony. And their generational timeline is 25 years is how they measure timelines. So from that time, it's been 7 generations. We are the 7th generation today. From 2017 to 2042 is the 7th generation, the last generation. Many know about it. It's actually mainstream. Even Nike knows it. This is a Nike shirt. Now let's see if you can see the logo. You can see the logo on the back. It's an N7 Nike line, which stands for the 7th generation. It's a native tribe spin-off, basically a native line. And I believe they donate a few proceeds to them as well. So I guess it's not all bad in that neighborhood. You know, they're trying to redeem their name because they've done so many immoral practices. But yeah, so even Nike knows it. We're in the 7th generation, the last generation, prophesied by Crazyhorse. So great turmoil. Then all the tribes, all colors, are going to gather around the sacred tree of life and unity. And most of you probably know, especially if you're followers of Christ, the tree of life is known as Jesus Christ. And also there is a physical tree of life in heaven, in the new heaven, New Jerusalem, I believe, that has like a bunch of different fruits on it. So I bet that's tasty to eat from. Can't wait to eat off that tree one day. But so yeah, Crazyhorse was likely a prophet, and he prophesied this. And I would like to recommend, his name is, I think, Chief Joseph Riverwind. I'll link his channel below. Him and his wife have an awesome channel. I forgot which tribe they're from. I believe he's Jewish and Native American. I forgot which tribe, but he has an awesome ministry. He wrote a book that really shows how there's a lot of old native tradition folklore that matches with the Bible verbatim exactly. So it's really incredible. You know, a lot of people, when they hear native prophecies or tales, they're quite interested in them, right? Because they know the natives were some real ones, some humble people. But what happened is they began to worship false idols. They made nature an idol and worship some false gods. Not all of the tribes, but many of them. That's why God allowed the tribes to be taken over. And you know, of course, some of these people that said they were Christians coming to the lands when they conquered America were indeed not. They weren't true Christians. You know what I mean? And a lot of them actually helped the natives out. The true Christians did try to help out the natives and were about peace, but there were many, you know, like the Freemasons, some of the founding fathers, Jesuits, you know, that stems back to the Knights of Templar. You know, they corrupt the name. They say they're Christian when they're actually not. They just wave that flag. It's a false flag attack. So yeah, the origins of the country is definitely suspect. About 100 million natives were wiped out. And of course with slavery not too long ago with African Americans and what have you, who actually were some of the Israelites too, which also are Native Americans, are some of the Israelites as well. And I'll cover that in the next video of the Rainbow Warriors. It's going to be a good one. So check this out, right? So this is the backstory to an incredible, bizarre confirmation story. This was back in 2015 when I was researching about Crazyhorse and the 7th generation prophecy, Rainbow Warrior prophecies. And this is in the middle of nowhere, small mountain town, Crestone, Colorado. A town of about 1,000 people. It's a super beautiful town. It has 14,000 foot peaks surrounding it. It's an amazing land. And they had this program out there from Maurice Strong, who passed away, who was a big UN founder and, a big wig and a billionaire, basically. One of the guys of the NWO, WF, the Great Reset, all of that. He had a foundation out there with his wife that set up religions and traditions from all around the world. They would set up they would give them land grants for free. So there was traditions from all around the world in this small town of about 1,000 people, had every major religion and spiritual tradition from around the world. So it was quite the interesting times. The Lord led me out there. This is right before I came to Christ, but I was still trying to follow God, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know who he was, but I knew he was there. And I began having a lot of dreams back in 2012. There was a shift in the spiritual, as the Mind calendar did show. But anyways, so 2015, middle of nowhere, I'm researching these prophecies. Just out of nowhere, I just felt led to do it. I was always researching things, right? And guess who shows up at my door 1 week later, or even that same week? And mind you, I did not know who these people were. I never talked to them. I never knew of them. Crazyhorse's great-grandsons show up right at my doorstep up in the mountains in this small little community. They came with a friend who was an awesome man of God. That he got a whole other testimony. This guy that used to be an Olympian, he's in a reggae band. He was the homie, man. He came over with Crazyhorse's grandsons, and we never spoke about these guys. I knew nothing about them prior, so it was totally random that they show up the week later after I was just researching about their grandfather, Crazyhorse. AKA, it was a God confirmation without question. It was a God incident, not just a mere coincidence. No such thing as coincidences. So these guys come over, we chop it up, we fellowship. They had they were telling me some stories. They had a really rough past, man, because life on the reservation, it's like akin to a third world country at times. It's very rough. It's horrible. There's curses upon the land. They really need deliverance. And the native people I am prophesying, these tribes will be delivered. They are going to come to the one true God, Yahweh, which is what they call him in some tribes, which is Yahweh, which is Jesus Christ, Yahushua. It's the same God, the Great Spirit, a whole family. So that's part of my ministry, is to help the natives, remind them who they actually are, who the true God is. Jesus Christ isn't just for the white man. He wasn't white himself, right? He was more likely like light brown, probably Jewish, you know what I'm saying? And but it's not about color, it's not about race. Jesus Christ died for all colors, all mankind. He died for, Gentiles and Jew alike. But the Israelites are all colors. I'll explain that in the Rainbow Warrior next video. But yeah, how random is that these guys show up at my front porch? Is the ultimate confirmation, if I could ever, speak of one. So the 7th generation is now, it's until 2042. The Lord has been showing his messengers that we are in the end times before his return. It's obvious, matches with the word, right? But he is showing that he is coming back soon. It is our generation. We don't know the day or the hour, but we do know the season, and we are definitely in the season. God's about to do the most amazing pour out. His Spirit's about to pour out more amazingly than ever before. We're talking superpowers. Jesus said himself that we're going to do greater works. We're going to be a part of the biggest movement the world has ever seen. I mean, that's if you're getting down with us, which if you're a believer, I'm pretty sure you are, not the religious types, because the Pharisees are going to come against this huge move of God, of course. And it's going to involve a few big ministers that you guys might know here on YouTube. I can tell you Marcus Rogers is probably one of them. Dustin Taylor, Street Ministry 7. I'm pretty sure that's going to be two big generals part of this movement. But it's going to be the body of Christ. It may even be just freedom lovers as well that will probably come around because they're going to see God's mighty works. It's going to win so many souls. Of course, God's got a huge plan for the end times, right? He's not just going to let Satan run amok and just have total control. He's gonna shine through us so bright to win so many lost. It's the greatest harvest ever. Hallelujah. So get excited, family. Get ready. The great wealth transfer is on the brink as well. We're gonna have the resources. We're gonna have the power. It's gonna be incredible, family. Don't miss out. Seek the Lord. Seek His face. Oh, taste and see the Lord is good. He's all we really need, honestly. So I'm gonna wrap that up, guys. It's getting about 11 minutes here, so check out the next video. Rainbow Warriors are the 144,000, all colors. Check this one out. I love you guys. Take care. Holla if you need some.